Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Bengt. Welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about why life feels slow sometimes and how to fix it. So this is something that I've been going through recently. And honestly, the past 2 years of my life have felt very, very stagnant, have felt extremely slow. And it feels like time has passed like super quick and rapidly, but it's also been super slow at the same time. I'm not sure how to completely word that feeling, but I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you probably understand a little bit about what I'm talking about. Like time feels warped. We're moving fast, we're moving slow at the same time. Like my perception of time, the feeling of time passing has gone quick, but my progress in life has been slow. And life itself feels like it's moving slow. Maybe that's a better way to put it. And we're going to talk about how to fix it because I've been trying to fix it. And the things that have made me feel like I'm fixing it and have actually felt like things have accelerated and moved up and sped the timeline along, so to speak, is ultimately just taking massive fucking action, for one, and for two, taking a step back and returning to who I used to be, the person that was very motivated, the person that was, very strongly aligned with their goals and with their mission and improving myself and getting to where I wanted to go. And I had a real mission, I had a real purpose, I had a real identity. And I feel like the reason why the past 2 years have been slow for me is because I kind of let those things slip away. And maybe I've been like reinventing myself. I do feel like I'm a better person than I was 2 years ago. I do feel like I'm closer to my end goal than I was 2 years ago. But the past couple of years have really been challenging for me. I've been tested. I've had to reinvent myself. I've had to let a lot of things in my life go. I've been hurt and had to heal from those things. And I feel like I've been doing the deeper necessary work over the past couple of years to really like springboard off of that. Like I was making great progress, I feel like, before that period of time. And then things just took a massive step back and it was like, whoa, dude, slow down. So the past couple of years, whatever, if you've been feeling like life has been moving slow, like you're not progressing at the rate that you want to, maybe you've had some very negative experiences, some traumatic relationships, some really pivotal, impactful moments, or, things happen in life, some tougher chapters, right? And this period of time has maybe just been about healing from those things, recovering from those things, and plotting a new path forward. Like for me, I had to let a lot of things go. Like a lot of the dreams that I had, a lot of the goals and aspirations that I had that were kind of serving as my North Star. And it really allowed me to filter all of my decision making through that, kind of compass that I had for life as far as the direction that I wanted to go. And I kind of realized that like maybe I don't want some of those things anymore. And so I had to really like do some reflection and do some self-realization and get to a point where I could uncover something else that felt just as meaningful as that initial goal or dream that I was reaching for, and that also had the same level of drive and impact and purpose behind it. Because for me, I'm someone where like, dude, I can wake up and I can grind every day and I can work every day and I'm very capable of it. And I've done it before plenty of times, but there needs to be a purpose. There needs to be a why. And I think that a lot of people, sometimes they put a little too much emphasis on the why. There's plenty of guys on the internet that'll tell you like, man, you don't need to like what you do. Just, chase the bag and, do hustle and grind and, forget about your passion and stuff like that. Like your passion and your hobbies don't make money. They don't pay the bills. Like pursue, something that pays good or, pays the bills, whatever. And I can see both sides of the fence. And honestly, like the advice that I'd give you is probably a little bit in the middle, where like there are some passions and there are some hobbies that, they're not going to make you rich, man. And at the end of the day, like you need to find the overlapping center point between the goals and the hobbies and the passions that you have, and what about them, or what spin-off, what like 45-degree pivot of an angle can you take with those things that also align with your financial goals. Like if you want to make millions of dollars, but you enjoy like knitting carpets, then you need to think about something that relates to, that is possible with both of those two scenarios, and like meet in the middle, right? I don't know how many carpets you'd have to sell to make $1 million, but it's probably a lot, maybe more than you could ever make in one lifetime, right? So, you got to be realistic about certain things. And over time, your goals and your purpose and your drive, the things that motivate you in life will change, man. Like the things that I was waking up and thinking about when I was 20, 21, 22, 23 years old are very, very different from the things that motivate me and drive me and the purpose and the thing that puts like fire in my belly now. And part of me, like it's an identity shift that you need to make, right? Because a lot of us care about our goals and our dreams a lot. And we put a little bit of our self-worth and our identity and who we think we are is attached to these dreams and these goals. And so when things come along, like a toxic relationship, a traumatic life experience, a loss of family, friend, something like that, like these big life lessons, these big events in life that, hurt and they set people back and they can cause people to make massive identity shifts and how they perceive themselves and how they perceive the world, or maybe it might change their drive or their vision for this thing completely. And when you lose that North Star, when you lose that compass that's been kind of your main driving point or like your GPS coordinates for life that you've been plugged into and driving on this route for a long time, when you take that away, you can feel very lost and life starts to feel very slow because you're discovering yourself again. You're going through this process of realizing what's important to you. Why do you want to get out of bed and do this thing every single day? What is the end goal and how does that make you feel? And, where do you actually see yourself doing this particular thing, right? So all of this stuff is something that I've had to work through over these past couple of years. And I think that there's a lot of people that can say the same. And I think a piece of it too might be the fact that the state of the world right now is kind of up in the air. Nobody really knows what's going on. Like everyone can feel that there's a change coming, but we don't know when. We don't know what it's going to be. We don't know what the outcome looks like. So everything feels like it's hanging in the air, hanging in the balance of these like decisions that have yet to be made, these big life and world events that have yet to happen. So it feels like life's just on pause, man. And that can be challenging. It can be difficult. Like, how do we navigate that? How do we stay productive? How do we stay motivated? How do we stay feeling like we're making progress in life when we don't really know what we want to do? We don't really know if it's going to work. We don't really know what's even happening with the world. And it's like everything kind of just feels like gray. I feel like that's probably the easiest way to explain it. Like past couple years, life felt very dull, felt very monochrome. And there wasn't a whole lot of like color and vibrancy and energy and enthusiasm in it. And I've had to like readjust my mindset. I've had to reframe some of my goals. I've had to readjust how I perceive myself and my identity and the things that matter to me and take the North Star, that compass that I had for a long time that disappeared when I realized the things that I was chasing after I didn't actually want. And I had to come up with a new one. And that process can take a lot of time, especially for someone like me and probably like you if you're watching this video, where what we do with our life matters a lot. And I care a lot about who I am and what I want to do for the world and how I want to, be perceived. And, at the end of the day, like my life's work, like what I put my time and energy into, I want it to mean something and I want it to feel good and I want to, be impactful and I want to make a difference and I want to do bigger things, right? So because I need that huge like motivator, I need that huge end game to kind of line up with my personal goals and identity, it can be hard to find something that you're truly passionate, truly purpose driven about. And it can take time. So if you're in a period where you feel like you're experiencing this life lag, it's okay. It's totally fine. It's going to be good, man. Like, don't trip about it too much. You might just need to process a little more. You might need to experience a couple new things. And for me, like some of the stuff that I was going through 2 years ago, I feel like I'm just now at a point where I've like fully healed from it. You know what I mean? Like that shit fucked my brain up bad, bro. Like I was in probably the worst state I've been in a long time. And that's coming from someone that literally since like 15 or 16 has been into the internet and the self-improvement, kind of manosphere space and like really cared a lot about my personal journey through life and, building businesses and doing all these other things. And I was severely affected by some of these events and stuff that really felt like a huge setback. And especially it felt like an even bigger setback because having gone so long, like rapidly ascending through, checking off goals and building businesses and reaching certain like income levels and all of this stuff that like was really meaningful to me at the time, to have that kind of taken away and to start over from scratch from zero again, it's freaking hard, man. It was hard. It was like I did factory reset on my entire brain, my entire life. Everything changed, and it was like, fuck, dude. Like, where do I go from here? Like, I felt like all the work, all the effort that I'd put into previously had been like negated. And I think another important thing to remember too is like not to stop and not to give up, not to let this life lag affect you too much, because at the end of the day, all the progress that you've made so far, it can be taken away too. If you go to the gym consistently, you know that it takes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months sometimes to really feel stronger, to really feel like the gains are being made and to look and see a physical difference in the mirror. But then again, if you stop going to the gym for like 2 weeks, you fall right back off, man, and you can start feeling yourself getting weaker. And I think that too many people let these life lag moments, these couple years in transition periods between one purpose or one career and another, or, one relationship or one significant life event that fucks them up. And then they spend 2 years just like undoing all of the progress that they made in their life. And I'm very guilty of that too. And it took me, unfortunately, like I said, about 2 years to really unscrew my brain and to feel like I was healed and to feel like I was back on my purpose, doing what I was supposed to do again. And I definitely let that feeling of stagnancy, I like sat in it and I let it control my life for a long time, man. And I got to the point where I was so sick and tired of not making progress on these bigger life missions that I had, that I started to really just like resent having these goals and these dreams. And bro, like a lot of people, I would just sedate myself. I started doing things that I had completely not dealt with in the past, like smoking or, just being like lazy and lethargic and like not really being motivated to do anything, and like kind of sort of going to the gym. And like I would maintain like the bare minimum hygiene standard that I had for myself. But I had a lot of negative habits that just came back in as me trying to cope with this thing that I couldn't really wrap my head around and wrestle with. And that was difficult for me. And, again, a lot of the self-improvement that I had done, a lot of the progress that I had made in life, I undid a lot of that. And so that made me feel even worse. That started an even deeper kind of negative downward spiral. And that's tough to go through, man, especially when you wake up and you realize that you were a better person 2 years ago. That shit sucks, man. When you realize that you were making progress and then you've undone that progress and dug yourself deeper than when you started. That fucking blows, dude. That's a real easy psychological mess that you're going to have to undo when you realize that like you're fucking yourself. You know what I mean? You're digging yourself a deeper hole, and life is already hard enough, bro. Reaching your dreams, going after your goals, doing whatever it is you want to do, that's already difficult enough. And then to realize that you're sitting there, setting yourself back, delaying that timeline, pushing things further away, creating more hard work for yourself, man, does that fucking suck. So if you feel like you're in one of these periods right now, do the basic shit, man. If you don't have the big North Star, if you don't have the big compass like pointing you and pulling you in a certain direction yet, that's totally fine. That thing will come. But don't let yourself sink any further into this pit of like despair and self-loathing and like just kind of giving up because you don't feel like you have this big calling. Stick to the basic shit, man. Eat healthy, drink plenty of water, you know what I mean? Go to the gym and just do the basic shit. Keep up with your meditation, keep up with like your personal self and personal development. Stay strong, stay intelligent, read books, sharpen your sword, man. Like prepare for war even if you're not ready to battle just yet. I hope that makes sense, man. Like don't let yourself fall off a cliff. Don't undo the hard work that you've done. If you don't have this beckoning call to go on this mission to do something in life just yet, that's fine. But prepare yourself for when you do, because when that thing happens, when that little epiphany goes off in your brain, when that one life event or that one person or all this, when it all lines up, it lines up and you feel that fire and that spark again, you want to be ready to go. That's where I'm at right now, where it's like The past 2 years have felt dull, felt gray, monochrome, colorless, emotionless, just like coasting through life, barely fucking, doing the bare minimum that it takes to survive and like do what I had to do on a daily basis. Cause I have a business, I have all these other things, right? And it's like, there's some stuff that I just can't get away from. But at the same time, I wasn't growing in those things. I wasn't making progress in those things. And then the past couple months, certain little events have just kind of all happened in synchronicity, and it feels good. And I have this like motivation to go again. Like I see the green light going off in my brain of like, okay, like we have a couple little moments here that we can capitalize on, strike while the iron's hot. So here we are, we're making content. My business is growing. I'm doing all the things that I know I should have been doing before, but I didn't have a why. I didn't have a purpose. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I couldn't see the end vision yet. And then all these kind of things just randomly happened and snapped into place where I was like, okay, I have a dream again. I have a goal again. I'm ready to go. And thankfully, having kept up with some of the self-improvement shit, like staying in the gym, staying reading books, all these things, like mentally I'm prepared and I can take action, massive action, and take bigger steps towards getting to where I want to go. So if you feel like life has been dull, life's been gray, you're experiencing this life lag, man, key takeaways: don't give up. Don't give up. It's totally fine. Men especially, like, we're very purpose driven. We want to have a reason why we're getting out of bed. We need to have that why we're doing something, right? And when you commit to something, it becomes a part of your identity. So when that thing no longer aligns with who you are, or maybe you want to switch lanes a little bit, switch careers, or there's a bigger goal that you want to tackle, when that purpose disappears, life feels void. It feels empty. There's like a black hole just sucking the energy out of you and the motivation and the drive out of you. Don't give up. It's fine. Everybody experiences these transitions in life. There are going to be times where you realize, oh shit, the thing that I'm chasing after, I don't even really give a fuck about anymore. I want this over here. And you can pivot, man. But don't let that in between, don't let that transition time suck you back and start to implement like negative progress. Don't let it detract you from the level that you're already at. Stay focused, stay strong, stay blessed, stay dangerous, stay in the gym, stay doing what you're supposed to do, man. And I hope that helped. I hope someone watching this found that valuable. And if you guys made it to the end of the video, you're a real one. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. As always, stay strong, stay blessed, stay dangerous. I'll catch you in the next one. All right.